Finley, and he's just turned 3. And obviously me being fat positive and talking about fat bodies is just, a neutral thing or a joyful thing, and talking about food in those ways. And I see that he's able to see my body. And like just a couple of weeks ago, we were eating lunch together, and I was like, oh, I'm really full, because I was full. And he's like, and after a little while he said, oh, I'm really full too. And then I showed him my tummy, like my fat belly. And then he showed me his tummy. And then a week later I was in a bikini, and then he came and he touched my belly and he said, Auntie, you're really full. And I was like, yeah, isn't my tummy so big and lovely? And it was just a sweet interaction. Now, he's, just turned 3, but he is already learning from the media that he is consuming that certain bodies are good, certain bodies are bad, certain foods are good and certain foods are bad. Because I sit and I watch his cartoons with him, and I am flabbergasted with the messages that are well intentioned. Like there's this, because he watches this show called Coco Melon, and there's this one where they talk about good food and bad food, and the parents at nighttime going to sneak quote unquote bad food, and the kids catching them, and they say, oh, we're naughty, and then they eat apples or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so messed up. But I can see it's messed up now, but before I would have been like, well, that's a good message about eating healthy food. And the fact that the shows that he watches, I'm like, where are the children who are not white? Where are the children who are not straight sized? Where is the diversity? And studies have shown that kids from a very young age begin to understand through the people that they're interacting with and the media that they're consuming that those are the correct people, the right people, the safe people. And if you're not introducing a variety of bodies into their life, then they will just pick up the exact same things that we all picked up as kids, that fat bodies are bad, that brown bodies are worse than white bodies, that disabled bodies are not as good as able bodies. And so I personally remember this because I can't think of any fat representation which wasn't a negative fat representation. Like any Disney characters, like Ursula, she's like the evil one, and how fat she was, and all of the fat people, like characters, were always seen as like lazy or slovenly, or they were the funny one, or they were the matriarch. They were never the protagonist. They were never the hero. They were never exactly what every single straight-sized character is. They were there to continue the stereotype that we have about fat people. And this, like, it directly affected me, because I remember when I was probably about 5, and it being a hot summer day at school, and all the kids at the time, it was cool to tie your shirt into like a little knot, just, showing your tummy. And I remember knowing that my body I was not allowed to do that with my body, because I had a little tummy. Tiniest little tummy. Like, if I could go back to Victoria then, I'd be like, you just tie that in a little knot. It's so cute. But I learned that my body was bad. And no one had come up to me and said, Victoria, your body is bad. But I'd learned through osmosis.